You got the bins for Max? Looks like it's gonna be about 80 to 100 bins. These are all I got left of Sweetwater bins that are clean. All those are clean? Okay. So it's always a race for time. Group D, we watch these grapes being picked, put in. Now we've got them on the ground at the winery. Jason's gonna put them on a scale, weigh them. He'll do a little math, deduct out the weight for the plastic bins. The guys will get paid for the tonnage that's inside of grapes. 2,007 pounds. That's right at 1 ton, except we've got 94, 95 pounds for each bin that'll get deducted out. So just under a ton. So up in the dump truck, we can see Josh Deloach. Jason was on the forklift weighing the grapes. Josh is Cecil's other grandson. These stems will go back out in the field to be processed back into the soil. The weighed bin of grapes gets dumped into the hopper with the auger. So the auger feeds the grapes into the crusher stemmer we'll see next. The machine will strip the grape itself from the cluster, discarding the stems and about 90% of whatever leaves that may have got left. Make it off in, and just the berries with juice will go into the wine. This is the back end of the stemmer crusher. So the whole clusters went in. Now coming out the back side are the stems. But inside that is a rotating cylinder that has holes about so big. The grapes are falling through the holes as the cylinder rotates. In the center is a section of arms with fingers that are knocking the grapes off of the cluster. The stems don't fit through the small holes, so they roll out through the back. Berries drop in, get pumped over to the press. So up in the dump truck, we can see Josh Deloach. Jason was on the forklift weighing the grapes. Josh is Cecil's other grandson. These stems will go back out in the field to be processed back into the soil. So following the hose from the stemmer crusher, you can see the, I don't know how well it's gonna come out, but the grapes and the juice, the skins and the juice are getting pumped through this hose on up to the press. What we have is John, assistant winemaker extraordinaire, lab technician. He's filling up this cylinder, a different, what we call the press. It's got holes in it and a bladder inside. The free run juice is what's coming out and going off into a tank to settle out. After the press is full to a certain amount of tonnage, they'll close the doors, seal up that cylinder, and the bladder inside will inflate. When that bladder inflates, it's gonna be just like my hand with those grapes. It's gonna squeeze just enough pressure in a various amount of cycles, maybe an hour and a half or so, to extract the juice, but without squeezing so hard that they get the bitter taste of the skins or the seeds out. So what John's doing is trying to fill that cylinder evenly so that they can maximize the amount before they run the press cycle. Here they're getting ready to close the doors up. They've added a little bit of rice hulls, which will aid in the pressing cycle. Basically just helps extract the juice from the skins. So now we've got a solid cylinder with a bladder inside with the grapes. An air bladder will inflate in a series of cycles to extract all that juice. John's securing the doors to make sure they don't pop open while they'll be under pressure, just less than 2 bars. Basically, we're pushing all that juice up into this tank. It'll sit there today, get chilled down a little bit, homogenize the whole blend of probably, I've talked to Jason, but maybe 10 tons of grapes will go into here, or the juice from the grapes. There won't be any skins, it's just pure juice. Except for there will be some sediment. And so that the sediment doesn't get put into the barrels, they will take out of this upper valve only. Right now we got both lines are going in. We're feeding from 2 different presses. Later they'll disconnect this press, or they'll use this same line and go back to some barrels that are being cleaned right now. And any dust, sediment, what they call lees, will settle in this portion of the tank, and that'll get discarded. We actually recycle it, and it goes out to somebody else. I got phones going off. So Omar is running ozonated water through these barrels. They're clean barrels, but we're just getting one more final cleaning. They'll drain, the water will get drained out of them, and by the time that first tank's filled, it'll be ready for coming back out. The sediment will fallen out, and they'll use a wand and put the wine out of the tank back in these barrels a few months. That's the life of the Hook and Ladder Chardonnay grape.